Let's talk about a star who feels impossibly close and impossibly distant at the same time. Today's story isn't about scandals, dating rumors, or box office numbers. It's quieter than that, deeper. This is about Kim Soo-hyun, the face millions recognize instantly, the actor brands trust blindly, the man who can make a single line of dialogue echo in your chest long after the screen goes dark. And yet, behind the fame, behind the awards, behind the careful, controlled smile, there's a question many fans rarely ask out loud. What does it really cost to be Kim Soo-hyun? As you listen to this, I want you to pause occasionally and check in with yourself. Think about the moments you've watched him on screen and felt like he understood something about you. Think about why his silence off screen feels louder than most celebrities' confessions. And ask yourself, is fame a shield for him or a cage? Kim Soo-hyun didn't rise slowly into stardom. He exploded into it. When Dream High introduced him to the public, there was already something different in his presence. Not flashy, not loud, but grounded, almost restrained. Then came Moon Embracing the Sun, and suddenly he wasn't just popular. He was unavoidable. His face was everywhere, his voice replayed in homes across Korea, his name trending without effort. With My Love from the Star, his fame crossed borders so fast it felt unreal. He wasn't just an actor anymore. He became a symbol of perfection, of reliability, of emotional depth delivered on demand. And symbols don't get to be human very often. Fame, especially the kind Kim Soo-hyun carries, is not simply attention. It's expectation. It's projection. Millions of people deciding who you are based on characters you played, interviews edited down to 30 seconds, smiles frozen by cameras that never blink. When fans say they know him, what they often mean is they know the version of him that makes them feel safe, loved, understood, or inspired. But what happens to the parts of him that don't fit into that narrative? Kim Soo-hyun has always been intensely private. In an industry where oversharing has become a survival strategy, his silence stands out. He doesn't flood social media with daily updates. He doesn't weaponize vulnerability for headlines. He doesn't explain himself when rumors circulate. For some, this makes him mysterious. For others, frustrating. But what if this privacy isn't arrogance or secrecy? What if it's survival? Imagine waking up every day knowing that a careless word can be dissected, mistranslated, and turned into a controversy by nightfall. Imagine feeling something deeply, heartbreak, loneliness, doubt, and realizing you can't talk about it honestly without it becoming public property. Emotional isolation doesn't always come from being alone. Sometimes it comes from being surrounded by people who only want a version of you that doesn't truly exist. Kim Soo-hyun's performances are often praised for their emotional honesty. He cries without vanity. He breaks without fear of looking weak. He allows silence to do the work. Watch him closely in roles like It's Okay to Not Be Okay or One Ordinary Day, and you'll notice something unsettling. He doesn't act like someone performing pain. He acts like someone who knows it intimately. That's part of what makes viewers feel seen. But it also raises a quiet question. Where does that emotional knowledge come from? Let's pause here. Think about your favorite Kim Soo-hyun scene, the one that stayed with you, the one that felt too real. What did it make you feel? Comforted, broken, understood, exposed. And It's Okay to Not Be Okay, he played a caregiver drowning in responsibility, suppressing his own emotions to survive. The role resonated with millions because it reflected a truth many people live daily, being strong until strength becomes a prison. Off screen, Kim Soo-hyun promoted the drama with professionalism and warmth, but he never turned the conversation inward. He never said, "This role mirrors my life." He let the audience decide. And maybe that's the point. When your life is constantly observed, ambiguity becomes a form of control. Fame often promises connection. Fan meetings, letters, chants, cheers, all proof that you're loved. But love at scale is strange. It's loud but impersonal, devoted but conditional. Kim Soo-hyun's fans are fiercely protective, yet even that protection can feel like pressure. When millions depend on you to remain unproblematic, emotionally stable, endlessly grateful, where do you put the days when you're not okay? Emotional isolation isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle. It's laughing at jokes you've heard 1,000 times. It's answering the same questions with the same careful phrases. It's being praised for being humble when humility is the only safe option. It's knowing that vulnerability, the thing people say they want from celebrities, is often punished the moment it becomes inconvenient. Kim Soo-hyun has experienced the darker side of fame too. Scrutiny, unfair comparisons, rumors that spread faster than truth. Yet his response has almost always been restraint. No emotional outbursts, no public breakdowns, no messy online wars. From the outside, it looks admirable. Inside, it may feel suffocating. Emotional isolation often thrives where expression is restricted. Let's be honest for a moment. How many times have you smiled through something because explaining it felt too exhausting? How many times have you chosen silence because speaking would complicate things? Now imagine doing that on a global stage. Even his romantic life, or the lack of publicly confirmed relationships, has become part of his mythology. Fans speculate endlessly, media circles around him, yet nothing sticks for long. Some interpret this as control, others as loneliness, but perhaps it's neither. Perhaps it's simply a man protecting the last space where he can exist without commentary. Love, for someone like Kim Soo-hyun, is never just love. It's headlines, expectations, shipping wars, and judgment before the relationship even has time to breathe. And then there's the military service, a period often framed as a break from fame. For Kim Soo-hyun, it was quieter, yes, but also revealing. His discharge showed a man unchanged in demeanor, still reserved, still careful. Fame had paused, but the isolation hadn't magically disappeared. If anything, it highlighted how deeply embedded it had become. After his return, his project choices shifted. Darker roles, heavier themes, less romance, more moral ambiguity. It felt intentional, almost like a conversation with himself. Fame had already crowned him. Now he seemed more interested in honesty than adoration. But honesty, especially emotional honesty, comes at a cost when the world is watching. Here's a thought I want you to sit with. Maybe Kim Soo-hyun's silence isn't emptiness. Maybe it's fullness, a life lived inwardly because the outward world takes so much already. Emotional isolation doesn't always mean sadness. Sometimes it's a boundary. Sometimes it's the price of staying sane. Still, even boundaries can be lonely. Fans often say they want him to be happy, but happiness for someone like him may look different than we imagine. It might be anonymity in a foreign city, a conversation with someone who doesn't care who he is, a day where no one expects inspiration, perfection, or emotional labor from him. And those moments are rare. All right, Buzz and Tea family,